Hi everyone, emmy-lou here. Today I want to show you how to do a giraffe in a really cool position. It's going to be based on David Shepherd, one of my favourite artists. I'm going to show you just a board. So if you can write that down on the back of your work, because it's always quite nice to write down, can you see? You've got David Shepherd, and then you've got, he was English. He was born in 1931. He's not alive anymore because sadly he died in 2017. It's quite sad, but he was amazing, really amazing artist. So I want to show you, it's covered in paint, but I want to show you, that is a picture of him painting. Looks really nice man. Then I've got a picture of him actually painting in real life. That's him painting animals in the wild. How amazing is that? Then there's a picture of his tortoise that he painted. So not his tortoise, but a wild one. And then we've got him posing with a picture that he painted. He was an amazing conservationist as well, so he really loved the environment and he really looks after the environment. And I loved the way he painted. It's almost like a photograph. It's that one there of the giraffe. Then this one. This one's a cool one. So we're going to do a giraffe today. I want to show you how to use oil pastels. I think it's really important to understand how to use certain materials. So we're going to do it in oil pastels. We could do it in chalk, but I'm going to use oil pastels today. So all we're going to need is paper landscape. We're going to do pastels. We're going to do a pencil, we need to have a rubber, and we need to have like an eraser, and we need to have a sharpener in case we do want to rub out. So let's go. Right, first thing you're going to need, let's do a shape. How shall we start this? Let's do a little shape like this. So we're working in the middle of our paper. We're going to do a little shape that's a little bit like a really bizarre rainbow, and then you're going to come from here, touch there, and you're going to go down, touch from this side, and you're going to go down. Then what you want to do is try and create almost like a line going down and a line going down. So it looks like a strange kind of, reminds me of a jelly, I don't know why. Then we're going to go, this is going to be where the top of the eye is almost. So we just have to go down there, down there. It might be a little bit wonky for now. Then touch this bit here and you want to go down. So it's like a horizontal line, very small horizontal line. The giraffe is almost from the side, so it's not going to be straight on. So he's kind of bending his neck. So just here, where you've got that shape, go down. Starting to take shape now, you probably can't see that, but it is, just trust me. Then we want to do some big ears. So think about giraffes having big ears. So we want to go 1, 2. Think about, they always remind me of leaves, like autumn leaves, where they've got pointy bits and they're quite almost crispy. Not that his ears are crispy, but it reminds me of autumn leaves. Then you want to do a line going like that, and then a line there will be cool. But then, you know, if you think about a giraffe, like if you think about going to the zoo or you've seen a giraffe in the wild, they've got kind of hair in their ears. Some humans have hair in their ears as well, but it's kind of like fluffy. So just do some little fluffy bits there. And then we want to have the horns. So I think they're called ocellates. They're his horns on the top. So we're going to touch about there. Doesn't matter where you do it. You just want 2 horns. So you go up, chunky, and down. Now you don't need to join that up. So we're just going to go wobbly across. Then do exactly the same. Doesn't have to be exactly like mine, by the way. It's okay. If it's a bit of a bobble, it doesn't matter. Then we're going to go touch this bit here, and then we're going to go down, and then a little bit like a U shape, you're going to go Now we want to go up a little bit more, so we're just going to go, this is going to create the mouth, so don't worry if it looks strange for now. Just do 2 little lines going up, and where you started the lines, it's okay if you get this wrong, don't worry. Just going to put your pencil there and you're going to join that up to here. So just join it up. Now you can probably see the face is starting to take shape a little bit, I'm hoping. So now we're going to just add all the detail. So we want to do a neck that comes from there. So if you missed that bit, just put your pencil just there and you're going to go down. And we want to do nostrils and we want to do the little mouth. So we're just going to do a little line just to show that's where the mouth is. And then little nostrils that go like this around the nostrils. And don't worry if I'm going super fast, we can just stop the video or I'll just wait for you a little bit. We're going to do some lines around the nostrils. That always makes it look kind of cool. And then we're going to do some eyes. Now if you think about giraffe's eyes, they're quite big with lovely long eyelashes. So we're going to just touch, probably start here, in the middle of that shape. Just do a rainbow. Go across and just about here do a rainbow. It's quite smaller there because it's on the other side of his face. Then we're going to just do a line going down, line going down. So just 2 lines down on each end. And then we're just going to join this up. Join that up. Join that up. And we want to do like eyebrows almost. Just join there and do a little line there. And we're nearly there, like we're nearly there, so you're doing brilliantly. Just try and imagine you're like David Shepherd and you're copying the giraffe from life, so it's in front of you. Maybe if you go on a zoo trip at some point, you can start sketching some animals. So we can just touch the top of the nostril, go up, touch the top of the nostril there, go up. This gives it more of a shape on the face. Then, what do giraffes have? Think about what they might have. Yes, it's patterns. So we're just going to do quite simple patterns on his neck. I did a giraffe in my other video, but this one's in a different position because it's quite nice to draw. So we've got most of the giraffe. How we want it. I'm going to do some more. They're quite small on the face, so you could just do. And what I like to do is you could either put a background. I'm not going to put a background for today. I'm going to do a really cool effect, but we could make the eyes look shiny by doing like some bits in there that we're going to do a different colour. So now we've got everything we need. Just think oil pastels. So if you haven't got oil pastels, you can use something else, it's fine. But I want to show you how to use oil pastels. So we have, there's my oil pastels. Ta-da! They're quite messy. So what I want to do is I use the light colour first, because if you use the dark one, when you do the light next to it, it smudges. So I'll show you what I mean. If I was to start off with dark blue, so if I did dark blue there, and then I did a yellow, it's so easy for it just, like when I smudge it, it's so easy to go green. Can you see it? But if I did a yellow first, and then I did a dark blue, it seems strange to show you, but it's like it's neater. It's like it doesn't smudge over, so it's really, really good. So all we want to do first is get a colour that you love. So I'm going to do my giraffe this colour. So it's like a sandy colour. So when you're doing the pastels, you want to press quite hard, not too hard, because you don't want to hurt yourself, but you want to do it so there's no white bobbly bits, because there's a difference between doing that, which looks okay, but it's quite bobbling. Can you see it? I think you can see it, can't you? Or, do you see that? Or this. Like, this is a lovely way of doing pastel because there's hardly any white gaps, so that's what you want. So we're going to take the colour that looks like sand, and I'm going to use it really nicely. So I'm trying to get rid of all my white bits, and this does take time, and it might hurt your wrist, but you can just have a break. Now, I did that quite fast, but that's roughly what you want. And then I might do a little bit on, I would say quite a lot of it's white on the giraffe. So I'm doing a little bit there. So I'm still pressing quite hard, but I'm not pressing hard as much as if it hurts me. Like, it doesn't hurt my hand to press. So I'm doing that. I'd probably do a little bit there in my sandy colour. Now, I like the idea of doing the sandy colour there as well. So what I would do is, because a giraffe isn't completely yellow, it's kind of a creamy colour that looks a bit like a yellow, I'm still going to use yellow because I think it would look quite cool. So my yellow is tiny, but I'm going to use it, and I'm going to use it kind of in between there. So I'm pressing quite hard still. I'm almost using it to outline, but not. So can you see where I've put it? It's okay, because it's yellow, we can go round the, we can go over the lines. And now this is darker, and I told you to use the lightest one first, but on this occasion, because they're roughly the same shade, so they're still yellow, it's not a dark black or a blue, it's okay to do that. So I'm just gonna, you can use them however you like, but the way I'm showing you makes it easier to use them. That's what I'm trying to sew. So can you see where I've added the yellow? Right, now I'm going to do some brown. So I'm going to get a brown because I think it adds to the giraffe. So brown, I'm going to sort of outline a little bit of the mouth. I'm going to go up. When you get a darker colour and go over your pencil lines, it just makes it look really good. So a brown's always nice because a giraffe has kind of got different tones and shades. So a shade is like a different type of, it's like a shade is if you have a blue, then you've got a light blue and a dark blue, a medium blue, you've got different types of blue. So that's what we're doing at the moment. Now, just drawing round. Because oil pastels, which sounds funny, but because oil pastels are oil, they melt when it gets warm. So you want to smudge when they get warm. I'll show you what I mean. Just going around here. So if you missed any of the lines that I've done, just stop the video and have a look. But I'm outlining it because I'm going to smudge it eventually. Now, I might do a different brown for these, but I quite like the idea of a dark brown. I'm going to take two browns just for the sake of getting two browns, because it's quite nice to do. So we've got two browns. I'm going to do some light brown bits here that looks like chocolate. I do like chocolate. I try not to eat too much of it, it's not good for you really. Okay, then I'm doing a bit of dark brown. Can you see I'm still not leaving any fluffy bits? I'm doing it quite chunky so there's no white bits left. I like to go, like when you've got an oil pastel or probably any material, it's easier to go around the outline and then colour inside, because then you've got the neat edge. I'll show you that again once I've done. This is a trickier one to do because it's a big area, but you're going to go round, then fill it in. Because if you fill it in without going round like this, it's so easy to make it too messy. But if you actually outline it and then do that, then it looks cool. Okay, now I'm going to take the lighter brown just so it's a bit different. You might like to think that the lighter brown goes on a certain bit of the body. So you might think, oh, it needs to be lighter where the top of the neck is because it's lighter there, like there's sun shining on it. So it's up to you. Right, now I do need a black, which I don't have. Right, let's get a black out. So you need to find a black in your pastels. So I've got a little black there, it's very small. So I've got a small black. What I'm going to do is colour the eyes, but I'm going to leave that little, can you see, it's like a tiny little white bit. I'm going to colour around and leave that white bit again, and then colour the nostrils. It's quite tricky, the nostrils. Then here I'm going to colour, but I'm only doing the top. Right, this is the bit that is awesome, the fact that you've got oil pastels. Now you get your finger, and your finger's probably quite small if you're a child, and you have to smudge it, so it could be hard to do. So you might want to maybe warm up your finger, so you could go or you could just don't go like that. Just make sure your finger's quite warm. If it's a warm day, then you're quite lucky. And what you want to do is just go over the line so it almost blends it. Can you see what's happening? It's like you're smudging it. So not all of, I need to say crocodile, so not all of the giraffe is white, because you don't need much of the giraffe white. So I'm smudging. I'm not just smudging everything though, I'm smudging around. Can you see how I'm going around? So I'm not just going la 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 la, because that might ruin your picture. And when you've done black, you've got to be super careful not to smudge the black, because it can get really messy. So just be super, super careful. When you get to these horns, you want to drag the black down with your finger. So just your one little finger, drag it down so a little, most of it's like a grey colour. But then you can even smudge these. And if you decide that you still need some more, like it's quite nice to shade it there because it's darker there. If you think, oh, I want to do more to it, you can get a black and you can just go, you can go outline it with a black pastel if you like. I don't want to do it at this point. I don't think I want to do it at this point, but I definitely want to get a little bit of the colour that looks like sand that we used. And I just want to smudge a little bit in here, because the awesome thing about art is if you're not completely happy with it, you can add to it. So I'm going to do a bit of a black line there. I think the black sometimes makes it stand out. You don't want to always outline things in black because sometimes it's just too much, but it kind of looks quite cool there. Now what I thought would be really fun is take a colour that's your favourite. So for me it's turquoise, love turquoise. Some of you might not have turquoise, you only might have a blue, or just don't do a yellow or a brown because that's what we've already put. I'm going to do a turquoise, and I want to just begin by colouring around. And it's like a scribble background, because what you're going to do is once you've coloured probably about the thickness of your finger, you're then going to go scribbly scribbly. So you literally scribble around. And if you want, after you've washed your fingers, because your finger might be a bit dirty, you just smudge it a little bit. But this looks really, really nice as a finished piece. So it's nice to finish off with a little bit of a background. It's a scribble scribble like that. It's quite fun because you can be a bit not silly about it, but you can just have some fun with it really. And you could do different colours maybe. You could do a blue. Can you see how I've done it chunky there? Then scribbling out. And you don't have to do it all the way round, you could just keep it to a little bit. You know, you don't have to do the whole thing. I quite like doing the whole thing because it kind of looks more finished. And it is quite fun to scribble. because you know you've been so neat doing the picture, but then when you do a background to scribble, it's really, really fun. So yes, I would suggest having a go at that. If you want to do 2 colours, you could do a little bit of dark blue there, it's up to you. But it's always nice to sign your work at the end. So I'm gonna get a black pastel and sign mine, which is emmy-lou. And there is my, keep wanting to say crocodile, but there is my giraffe. Subscribe, like and share. And let me know how you get on. If you want to add anything, because it's quite nice to do it, walk away from it and then come back to it, and then you'll think, oh, actually I'm going to add more to it. So it's up to you how much more you want to add, but I think you'll probably do a brilliant job, and I will see you soon. Bye.